Hello there, welcome to Fantasy Grounds with Ungainly Titan. This is a new series I'm going to start related to Fantasy Grounds. I've been wanting to do a Fantasy Grounds video for quite some time, but I just wasn't too sure what to do. What I've decided to do is that I'm going to try and do a series of videos showing you how to do something on Fantasy Grounds in 20 minutes or less. Ideally, I would be aiming for around 10 to 15 minutes per video, but I can see some of them going longer. Most how-to videos in Fantasy Grounds that I've seen go on for hours, or at least an hour or more. They show you quite a lot. They're very interesting, but it's a long time, and sometimes you just want to know something quick. So this particular video is going to cover the topic of loading a campaign and joining a campaign. So you're hosting a campaign, you want to load the campaign. You have the right-hand screen, so you have the internal IP address and the external IP address. The internal IP address largely doesn't matter unless you're hosting a game locally on your own machine. The external IP address is what people will need to connect to your machine. Now, you can give them the actual IP address, but I would think that the enable alias is a better approach. So it's something like, I'm not too sure because it's in the smallest screen and it's in a preview window and it's not properly rendered. It looks like Dead Camp Idle Party. You can generate that alias. It's stored on Fantasy Grounds servers connected to your external IP address. So if your external IP address changes, you may have to regenerate the alias and recommunicate it to your players. Every time you generate the alias, I think there's a fresh instance of it stored, and it just needs to have the updated alias. The other thing is you need to have the correct licensing. So if you have the demo licensing, you really can't host a campaign. You can test it with a demo license, I think. If you have a standard license, you can host really only standard or ultimate licenses for practical purposes. You can test connections and stuff with a demo license, but you can only have one demo license connected to a standard licensed host. You can also, of course, have an ultimate license, in which case you can have demo licenses connected, any number of demo licenses connected, subject to bandwidth and memory. The connection test button is just that. You need also to have port 1802, I believe. I'm going to have a FAQ linking to the networking FAQ on the Fantasy Grounds website, but you need to have that port open on your router in order to host a game. You also need it open on your firewall on your computer as well and on the router. So you need port forwarding set up. Now, port forwarding is specific to routers. Different routers will do it in different ways, and I'm not going to go into port forwarding, but I will link to the FAQ, which will get you started and show you how to, or where to go and where to get more information and to troubleshoot connection issues. In my case, running the test will generate a failure because I don't have port forwarding set up on my router at the moment. I had it in the past, but then I had to reset the router for various reasons, troubleshooting issues with my internet connection, and I haven't been hosting a game. I have not been able to host a game in over a year because I just haven't had the upstream bandwidth to actually host a game and run a voice chat at the same time. So as long as you have the appropriate license, you have a campaign created, you have the port open, all you do is press the start button and you're off. You're hosting the game. You could also do it from the create campaign button, where you can create a campaign, give the campaign a name. Now, the campaign has a name, but that's only for your own campaign management purposes. You have, by default, you're the GM, but you can change that in the campaign properties. You can add a password, which is kind of an extra layer of security. So if somebody guesses your IP address or scans the system and discovers that there's an open port or whatever, they can't actually connect to the game if they don't know the password. On the flip side, you're the player and you want to look at the join game button. So you just click on the join game button here and you get username and host address. Now, you get a history with Ungainly Titan localhost. Localhost means that I'm hosting the client and the server on my own computer, and it just means it's my own computer. It refers to my own computer. It's a stand-in for the IP address, and I can reuse that. But normally you would actually use the passphrase that you were given, such as the Dead Camp Idle Ally or Idle Party or whatever the hell it was. So this could be emailed to people or messaged using Skype or TeamSpeak or Discord or whatever, so that you then press start and you connect, and that's it. You're in. So you've now joined or are in the process of joining a hosted game. So this is the player view. You come in straight away. There is no character set up. You pick on character selection, and you've got to create a new character. So you pick on the plus. You've created a new character. It's there, and you can just double click. I haven't created an actual character. I will cover that topic in a later video. But now you're in the game, and this is from the player's perspective. If you flip over to the DM perspective, you can see that Ungainly Titan has connected. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I hope you found it interesting. And if you did, please give it a like. If you have not already done so, please subscribe. I'll catch you all again soon. Bye for now.